stations RGC. They haven't been listening. 88.5 FM. It's totally different. That's why true music lovers make a big switch. And because you have a winner taste, 88.5 FM is your only station.
From Monrovia, a pleasant good morning and welcome to King's News Broom. 45 minutes of the most compared news events from Liberia and other parts of the world. Today is January 20th, AD 2025. I am your presenter, Otis Sunkan. Stories we carry this morning on the program: murder of a 21-year-old boy who was reportedly killed by health practitioner at the St. Joseph Catholic Hospital demands justice into the circumstances surrounding her son's death. Ministry of Education announces procurement and distribution of 6,000 high-quality armchairs for senior secondary school students across the country. Former President and world icon George Weah, an entourage, was in Nima County over the weekend for the funeral and burial of Senator Prince Johnson. Away from Liberia now, U.S. sanctions Sudan's Army Chief Buham over civilians' death. The headlines. We take a break to return with the bulletin of the news. Welcome. The Ministry of Education has announced the procurement and distribution of 6,000 high quality armchairs for senior secondary school students across the country. The initiative, according to the ministry, also includes the provision of 120 desks and 120 chairs for teachers, ensuring a more organized and conducive learning environment. Speaking Friday at a special ceremony marking the arrival, Education Minister Dr. Joseph Jala asserted that the furniture will be instrumental in improving students' and academic performance by providing a more comfortable and effective learning space. Minister Jala furthered that the procurement and distribution of these armchairs and furniture are not only vital for enhancing the physical learning environment, but also demonstrates the ministry's strong commitment to providing students with access to top tier resources that will help foster academic excellence. The Liberia Education Minister at the same time expressed her team's continuous commitment to the long term development of Liberia's youth and the future of the nation through transformative initiative at the Education Ministry. Government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Justice, on Friday unveiled 21 vehicles and a 30-seated bus for County Antonines as part of an initiative aimed at strengthening access to justice across the country. At the unveiling ceremony, Minister of Justice and Attorney General of Liberia, Oswald Twe, stated that the vehicles are intended to support the work of Liberia's county attorneys at enhancing access to justice, empower legal professionals, and ensure the efficient delivery of justice nationwide. Minister Twe emphasized the unveiling ceremony is the first time over 15 years that the country attorneys have been provided with such essential tools to effectively carry out their duties. He explained that these vehicles are part of a broader initiative to improve the welfare of Liberia legal professionals, ensuring they have the resources needed to serve their communities with dignity and efficiency, thus emphasizing the importance of engaging with local communities and ensuring the justice system is not only effective but also perceived as just by all Liberians. Minister Toy also expressed gratitude to President Joseph Boakai, the Ministry of Finance, and the National Legislature for their unwavering support for the rule of law. In another development, Minister Toy disclosed that they have invited independent investigators to probe the fire outbreak at the Capitol building. He stated that an investigation is currently underway into the deliberate fire that occurred on December 18, 2024 at the Capitol building. The Justice Minister also confirmed that the Ministry of Justice, in collaboration with the Ministry of Internal Affairs and other national partners, is conducting a thorough investigation. The minister vowed that anyone found responsible for the criminal act will be held accountable in accordance with the law. The Justice Minister and Attorney General reiterated that the government is committed to upholding the rule of law, ensuring access to justice for all Liberians, and fostering a culture of accountability and transparency within the nation's legal institutions. Montserrat County Senator Sir Joseph has raised an alarm over the failures of the past and current government of Liberia through the Liberian National Fire Service to procure nearly US 2 million firefighting equipment intended to combat against fire incidents across the country. The Congress for Democratic Change lawmaker disclosed that since money was allocated in the national budget for fiscal year 2024, the purchasing of firefighting equipment, including trucks, and the training of personnel, the LNFS has not procured any equipment to enhance its operation. Senator Joseph maintained that fire incident continues to destroy lives and properties of citizens, especially ordinary Liberians who are encountering severe hardship and economic challenges in the country. He disclosed that though authorities of the Liberian National Fire Service conducted a competitive bidding process and awarded contracts to several companies to procure firefighting equipment, those equipment are yet to arrive in Liberia to address the growing wave of fire disasters. Workers of the National Elections Commission have thanked President Joseph Yuma Boakai for suspending indefinitely the chairperson of the commission, David Brown Lasana. She is suspended for what the president described as disruptive behavior to trust and stability, as well as taking unilateral decisions, which led to a series of protests at the commission and created a toxic working condition. Addressing a news conference Friday at the commission headquarters on 9th Street, they said through their spokesperson, David Brown Lasana provided sufficient reason for her removal as head of the commission, but the goodwill of President Boakai only led to her suspension. According to them, the indefinite suspension of David Brown Lasana has brought a great relief to the entire workforce of the National Elections Commission, especially the 25 employees she dismissed unilaterally. They also said Madam Brown Lasana was greedy enough to have put herself on all the committees of the National Elections Commission as head, taking control onto herself every expenditures and procurement of the commission. United Blind Association of Liberia has elected new corps of officers to govern affairs of the organization. Those elected are Wilfred G1, President, Vanny Momo, Vice President, David Bobo, Secretary, and Imara Yapat, Financial Secretary. Others are BN Flomo, County Officer, David Nangwe, Youth President, Blackie Benson, Treasurer, and Madam Hannah Bede, Chaplain. In remarks, President-elect Wilfred G1 thanks supporters and all participating individuals for the successful process, urging them to unite. According to G1, his priority will be to reconcile and call for a roundtable dialogue with all members and let go of the election crisis, followed by the rebounding of the School of the Blind. The National Identification Registry has officially launched the registration of kids under 6 years for national identification numbers and national identification card. Speaking at the launching ceremony here at the John F. Kennedy in Monrovia on Thursday, NIR Executive Director Andrew Peters disclosed that over 5,000 children under the age of 5 years will benefit from this initiative. According to him, the enrollment process will give children the opportunities to be recognized and be issued national identification numbers by government. The NIR board described the launch as a historic achievement for the government and it is expected to be taken to the 15 sub-political divisions in the country. The launch was held at the JFK Conference Room in Monrovia on the 10th, enhancing visibility through national identity documents. A marketer who sells at the Waterside Market identified as winning woos has accused a man identified as Usman Diallo of plotting to relocate her table at the Waterside Market. Woos noted that she has constantly been intimidated by Diallo on several occasions to leave from where she currently sells on ground that her business is preventing customers from entering his store. After a pre-trial conference held between the two parties some months back by the West Point Magisterial Court, the court has issued an inventory order to remove Winnie Woos if she sells in front of Diallo stores. She is therefore calling on the government of Liberia to the Liberia Marketing Association to intervene as she has nowhere to go rather than where she sells. For his part, Usman Diallo emphasized that winning is always in the constant habit of putting her clothes in front of his store, thereby stopping his customer entrance. In further noted he further noted that winning has boasted of knowing top government officials, describing him as a foreigner who has led which has led to her unruly behavior. The Environmental Protection Agency has reportedly developed a number of regulatory instruments aimed at protecting the environment in Liberia. EPA Executive Director Dr. Emara Yapawolo disclosed that on December 13, 2024, the Policy Council of the EPA approved Sarah's count environmental regulation in order to protect the environment. Dr. Yapawolo made a statement at the opening of a two-day roundtable discussion organized by the Green Advocates International in partnership with the World Resources International and funding from the United States Department of State in Monrovia on Thursday. He named the regulation cover air quality, wetland, solid quality, solid waste, radiation, landfill, and water quality. He remarks, the project led at the Green Advocates International, Peter Kukwe, disclosed that the training of grassroots environmental defenders will be taken to the 15 sub-political divisions in the country. According to him, the 75 grassroots environmental defenders will be trained throughout the country, and each will be given a small grant by the U.S. State Department. The roundtable discussion brought together prominent lecturers, including Councillor Tianwan Gunglu, Lame Panga, Tonian Wales, and Fosu Zion, among others. In foreign news, the U.S. government has imposed sanctions on the head of Sudan's army and de facto President General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. He has been leading one of the two sides in the 21-month civil war that has killed tens of thousands, uprooting over 12 million and pushed the country to a brink of famine. In a brief statement, the U.S. Treasury Department accused General Burhan of destabilizing Sudan and undermining the goal of a democratic transition. The announcement followed reports of the killing of civilians in the central city of Madani in recent days. However, this was not mentioned in the statement. However, Sudan Foreign Ministry has condemned the sanction as strange and troubling. Last week, Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, the head of the paramilitary group fighting the army, was also sanctioned by the U.S. The U.S. accused Dangalo Rapid Force that Support Forces (RSF) of committing genocide during the conflict. In announcing the sanction on Burhan on Thursday, Washington said that the army under his command has committed later attacks on civilians, including targeting schools, markets, and hospitals. Welcome back to the program. Indeed, if you are just joining us, it's a reminder that you are in tune to King's News Broom, 45 minutes of the most recent news for Liberia and other parts of the world. Today is Monday, January 20th, 2025. Stories we carry this morning on the program. Mother of a 21-year-old man who was reportedly killed by the health practitioners at the St. Joseph Catholic Hospital demands justice into the circumstances surrounding her son's death. The Ministry of Education announces the procurement and distribution of 6,000 high quality armchairs for senior secondary school students across the country. Former President and world icon George Weah and entourage was in Lima over the weekend for the funeral and burial of Senator Prince Johnson. And away from Liberia, U.S. sanctions Sudan Army Chief Burhan over civilians' death. We'll take another break to return this time with the voices that make the news. Welcome back to the program. The Ministry of Education has announced the procurement and distribution of 6,000 high quality armchairs for senior secondary school students across the country. The initiative, according to the ministries, also include the provision of 120 desks and 120 chairs for teachers, ensuring a more organized and conducive learning environment. Well, we hope to bring you the accepts in our next news broadcast. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Justice, on Friday unveiled 21 vehicles and a 20-seater bus for counted attorneys as part of an initiative aimed at strengthening access to justice across the country. At the unveiling ceremony, Minister of Justice and Attorney General of Liberia, Councillor Oswald Tuer, stated that the vehicles are intended to support the work of the Liberia County Attorney at enhancing access to justice, empowering legal professionals, and ensuring the efficient delivery of justice nationwide. Ooh. Well, sorry for that. We hope to get that access to the stories now. The Environmental Protection Agency has reportedly developed a number of regulatory instruments aimed at protecting the environment in Liberia. EPA Executive Director Dr. Emmanuel Yapaulo disclosed that on December 13, 2024, the Policy Council of the EPA approved Sarah's count environmental regulations in order to protect the environment. Yana is the executive director.
The Environmental Protection Agency of Liberia, responsible to safeguard the environment of Liberia, has developed a number of regulatory instruments that require sustained public education and public awareness. On December 13, 2024, the Policy Council of the EPA approved the following environmental regulations. 1. Air quality regulation. 2. Wetland regulation. 3. Soil quality regulation. 4. Solid waste management regulation. 5. Radiation regulation. 6. Lead pin regulation. 7. Water quality regulation, just to name a few. We are now printing these regulations into handbills and will require your help in educating our people. This is what you do, and we commend you for it. What grassroots environmental defenders more generally do is advocacy, which can help people understand their rights and make informed decisions. The right of the people, especially those who are vulnerable to the abuse by the greedy and the powerful, are enshrined in the Constitution in various policy laws and regulations, such as those that are named just above. The problem is many of the people do not know these rights, and ignorance is used as a weapon against them. The responsibility of defenders is to inform the people. Once this is done, the people make informed decisions. The informed decisions enable people to stand up and speak for themselves, demanding their rights and just benefit for their livelihoods and the environment in which they live and depend. But the powerful, those who enjoy wealth at the detriment of vulnerable people, do not like the idea of educating people about their rights and making informed decisions. As a result, they target defenders through oppressions, suppressions, unjustified jail terms, and sometimes even death. Should these weak and self-defeating tactics of oppression continue? The answer is clearly no.
He's the executive director of the Environmental Protection Agency of Liberia. They are speaking. The National Identification Registry has officially launched the registration of kids under 6 years for national identification numbers and national identification card. Speaking at the launching ceremony held at the John F. Kennedy Memorial Hospital in Monrovia on Thursday, NIR Executive Director Andrew Peters disclosed that over 5,000 children under the age of 5 years will benefit from this initiative.
On behalf of the management team and the entire workforce of the National Identification Registry, I'm happy to welcome all of you to this occasion, high-level launch of the National Identification Documents. We are happy that we can achieve this historic milestone. A few years ago, it seemed difficult to enroll children from 0 to 5 years of age into the national biometric system because the ranges of their fingers are very minute and not developed enough to be captured by our system. This excluded a sizable portion of our population, about 500,000 children between the age of 0 to 5 years, approximately 14% of the youthful population under 28. Latest system reported 2022 who could not be enrolled into the MS and unique identifier. In June 2023, when we talk about the registry, working with our service provider, we were able to modify our system to be able to grow and assign unique identification number to these children. We immediately launched a program which we need and start enrollment at birth because of our ambition is to capture people information right from the birth so that this of people not knowing their right information can become a thing of the past, a legacy we wish to leave behind. Henceforth, our project enrollment at Refuge, launched in September 2023, provides an opportunity for children from 0 to 5 years to get enrolled in the MS and be uniquely identified. But a new
He's the executive director of the National Identification Registry, Mr. Andrew Peter. They're speaking. To the stories now. A marketer who sells at the Waterside Market identified as Winning Woos has accused a man identified as Usman Diallo of plotting to relocate her table at the Waterside Market. Woos noted that she has constantly been intimidated by Diallo on several occasions to leave from where she currently sells on grounds that her business is preventing customers from entering his stores.
Yeah, let's say what I see here. Now my mom say what from the town was possible. Now on let's say where I go to school. I feel I'm not going to school. So later mama head you. Mama get eyes problem. So she stopped staring my husband that she said my husband the tail. Why also the tail? I know what kind of problem between the Fulani, all of people they have no people be completely about the Fulani. I said, Mama, get that. The Fulani say, I'm not saying the tail. He said, "Start the enemy. Who gave me the tail? Who gave me the tail?" He said, "I'm not saying." He went to the court, came into the court. The court, last week court, they just saw the fact that the Fulani were fetching the tail, and I want the Fulani way. So he said, he gets objection now. You know, we may please make a Fulani or stop me. So I said, but I don't stop me for myself. My kids, yes, they said, and I agree. I'm an uncle. People, people can say I'm upset because I don't want to make way. The person you can't agree. They're going to talk on you for over 3 hours. The learner, what you looking for, the learner, talk on you. He said, you can't do it. He said, you can't do it. And I said, and I said, the different facility, and I said, my children will go to school for the court. You can't put all my market down. The market, what you see, us, I said, the market for first day. Put it on the market here because the first one at here. They don't put it on. The back of every day. But they say, according to they say, I'm ruling. They say, I'm ruling here and they're ruling. And I agree to their ruling here. You cannot sell it fast. You cannot get money if the judge and the judge can find. You know, I want to speak for me as well. No, I'm on my rap way. I'm on my rap way. I've been telling you for the time our issue there is a COVID. Let us small. Let's go on and eat.
She's Winnie Woos, a marketer at the Waterside Market that's speaking. For his part, Usman Diallo emphasized that Winnie always in the constant habit of putting her clothes in front of his store, thereby stopping his customers' entrance.
This case we started almost 6 months ago. This lady was on this table here. They brought her here because I was traveling. I was not here. They brought her here. So we came. We saw she started parking. She's selling DK. So she was parking in front of our store. When we told her, we said, if you're parking here, park it on your table. Don't park it in front of our store. Because if you park it in front of our store, you block our customer. Okay. The first day, she said, okay, no problem. But the second day, the third day, she started refusing. She refused. So she started parking her clothes in front of our entrance. So when we called the police, we asked the police, you tell the woman, let she park the clothes on her table where she paid for. No our entrance, because we do paying taxes here. She refused it. She can't listen to the police. Already now at the table, I think they can put iron and hand clothes. So she park on the table, then she park in front of our entrance. So we say, the way you're doing it, you block our customer because we here, we paying taxes. We got reserved here. But right back on your table. See, we call the first police talk to her, say she can't agree, she can't listen to it. We involved the LMA Kim several times, 4 times. Avaso, be to yourself. Stop coming, intruding the people place. She refused. So the last time, there was water right in front of our store here. She swept the water from down because it was going down. The water can go down. She swept it from down. She flashed in our store. So I went, I called element. I said, you see, that lady here, she flat jet water in our place. We've been calling you 4 times now, you're not no action. And if you do anything, you'll say, oh, they stop people, now this, now that. So what happened? We element told her that, element told the lady that, you know you're wrong. If the people take any action, he will be held responsible. So as soon element left, she came, she said she started making, she knows senator, she knows PP people, we foreign here, we flat people, we not get no right here. Now the argument she brought up, we said, okay, but then saying you say like that, we resort to the court. This case we started almost 6 months ago. This little one on this table here.
He's Usman Diallo, a Fulani businessman. There's speaking. Indeed, if you are just joining us, it's a reminder that you are in tune to King's News Broom. 45 minutes of the most compelling news for Liberia and other parts of the world. Stories we're hearing this morning on the program. Mother of a 21-year-old man who was reportedly killed by practitioner or health practitioner at the St. Joseph's Catholic Hospital demands justice into the circumstances surrounding her son's death. Ministry of Education announces the procurement and distribution of 6,000 high-quality armchairs for senior secondary school students across the country. Former Liberian President Award icon George Weah and Entourage was in Nimba over the weekend for the funeral and burial of Senator Prince Johnson. Away from Liberia, U.S. sanctioned Sudan's Army Chief Burhan over civilians' death. We'll take another break to bring you more development on the program. Thanks for joining us. To this development now, the United Plant Association of Liberia has elected new corps of officers to govern the affairs of the organization. Those elected are Wilfred G1, President, Vani Momo, Vice President, David Bobo, Secretary, and Emmanuel Yapat, Financial Secretary. Others are BN Flomo County Officer, David Nangbe, Youth President, Blackie Benson, Treasurer, and Madam Hanan B. Chaplain. In remarks, President-elect Wilfred G1 thanked supporters and all participating individuals for the successful process, urging them to unite.
Election was a tough one. It almost turned out into a national election, if I may say. But I can say leaders are born, leaders are not made. Yeah, so today the process is over. And all I can say that the organization is bigger than every one of us. In the absence of me, in the absence of anybody, United Black Association must live on. I expected this result because of the effort put in the process as a Cuban. Most Cuban around the world or in other organizations will relax. But I did not relax. I put every effort and every resources and strength into this process. And with all my mechanism put in place, and our first target is to unite the people because the name of the organization itself suggests who we are. There is a great division. Unity is strength, and we must unify. There's a great division because of my vice president, who and I started in 2020, decided to back up from me and decided to run against me. So that alone brought a great division. So based on that, I think there is a need for reconciliation, and there's a need for a roundtable dialogue to ensure that everyone put their hand on deck to take this organization to another level. I don't want the people to take me as an individual. I want them to take me to be the president of the people. servant of the people. I want them to disregard whatever happened in the past. Elections are over, politics have come and gone, and the organization must live on. And the school is our first priority. We have blind kids who we cater for as age 15 up to age 3 to 15 years old.
Okay.
So if this organization must grow, we must continue to invest in the younger generation.
He's the president-elect of the United Blind Association of Liberia, Wilfred Jiwon. They're speaking. Workers of the National Elections Commission have thanked President Joseph Yuma Bouaka for suspending indefinitely the chairperson of the commission, David Brown Lassanan. She is suspended for what the president described as disruptive behavior to trust and stability, as well as taking unilateral decisions, which led to a series of protests at the commission and created a toxic working condition. Workers of the National Elections Commission.
This chairperson was head of the budget committee. This is in the 2023 general elections. She was head of the budget committee, cash committee, procurement committee. She single-handedly headed everything that had to do with cash, procurement, and staff of the National Elections Commission have come with profound thanks to the President, His Excellency Joseph Yuma Bouaka, for the bold and decisive step taken for the indefinite suspension of the chairperson, Madam David Brown Lassanan. The President acted within the scope of his legal authority as provided by law, because the law provides for the removal of the next chairperson for a cause. In the instant case, Madam Chairperson has provided adequate reasons for her own removal, but the President, being as generous as he is, rewarded her with an indefinite suspension in order to restore calm and stability to the commission. This news has brought relief to the entire workforce, especially the 25 dismissed employees. There are concerns out there, however, in the public regarding the justification of the chairperson's suspension that we believe we need to address. Over the period of 5 years, the workforce has experienced nothing but an authoritarian rule at the hands of Chairperson Lassanan, characterized by wanton corruption for which she was indicted by the LEC. Staff are treated with no respect to the point where, when opinions are expressed in meetings, it is treated as an affront and subjected to internal investigation and eventually leads to dismissal. At the level of the board, the chairperson has taken a dominant posture, so much so that plenary sessions have been reduced into chat room discussions. In most instances, travels intended for staff of the commission are single-handedly made by the chairperson, as this was done in time past with others. Upon her return, there is hardly any report made. Staff of the commission have been transferred to different sections without the knowledge and approval of the rest of the commissioners, as the law depicts.
They also said Madam David Brown Lassanan was greedy enough to have put herself on other committees of the National Elections Commission as head, taking control onto herself everything or every expenditure and procurement of the commission.
This chairperson was head of the budget committee. This is in the 2023 general elections. She was head of the budget committee, cash committee, procurement committee. She single-handedly headed everything that had to do with cash, procurement, and the rest.
Yeah.
To an extent where she concocted arrangements to remove monies from the commission's account with no delivery of election materials. Yes. Through unique solution, a firm with no history of delivering election materials, owned and operated by a businessman called Daniel Koluba. We know for a fact that this same Koluba has provided a non-functional solar system to the commission that is worth over 200,000 United States dollars. The same Koluba, as a kickback to his full deal, provided a complete set of solar system to the homes and businesses of both the chairperson and the executive director, Mr. Anthony K. City. Other commissioners were appointed to hear by elections, but the budget and cash was controlled by the chairperson and the executive. She sidelined directors that she did not like and dealt with their deputies, completely disrespecting their offices, at an instance leading to frustration of heads of sections. The chairperson, just in this week, unilaterally merged several sections, thereby dismantling the entire organogram of the commission. Over the past 3 months, the NEC has been marred in a toxic work environment and an institutional crisis, which you all are aware of. Human and work relations have been bruised and broken because of the suspended chairperson's unilateral and dictatorial management style and her flagrant disregard for the rule of law.
So,
she has over the years demonstrated her penchant for the violation of laid down procedures and statutes governing the management and operations of the commission. She did not only exhibit disrespect for her fellow commissioners, but has also disregarded them for over the last 5 years. And most recently, she has shown similar behavior too. She abrogated unto herself what the law has ascribed to the 7 commissioners.
The spokesperson of NEC workers there addressing the press. Well, on that note, this is how I like to draw the curtains on the early morning edition of the program King's News Broom. But before I take a leave of you, stories we close the carry this morning. Mother of a 21-year-old man who was reportedly killed by a health practitioner at the St. Joseph's Catholic Hospital demands justice into the circumstances surrounding her son's death. The Ministry of Education announces the procurement and distribution of 6,000 high-quality armchairs for senior secondary school students across the country. Former Liberian President and war icon George Weah and entourage was in Limba over the weekend for the funeral and burial of Senator Prince Johnson. And away from Liberia, U.S. sanctions Sudan's Army Chief Burhan over civilians' death. Many thanks to all of our correspondents, reporters, and contributors who helped making this early morning edition a success. On behalf of the entire news team here at Royal Communications Incorporated, my name is Otis Sanka, a presenter. Thanks for watching and listening. Good morning.